Alright, so here we go. We have Joseph doing his deployment. Those are his platoons that he's using. You'll remember this is the Korea board. So the Americans and the Germans got stranded in Korea and are fighting for it, I guess. So the mission we've decided is hold the line, which is long table edge. You divide the board in half with, in the center, 8 inches from each side. There's 2 objectives, and the attacker, which is the Americans, have to take one of those and win. If by turn 6 I don't have any troops, anything at all in this half of the board, then Joseph wins the game. So what are you deploying, Joseph?
I'm putting down my howitzers first. My fighting style is punch 'em at range. And since James has a lot of tanks and more infantry, he has more guys than me, and a lot more armor. So I've got to take as much advantage of the early game as I can before he gets right on top of me. And so I usually always place my howitzers first, because, quite honestly, they're my backbone. So I think on a mindset of artillery. So putting them down and making sure that I have every available opportunity for them to take advantage of the field and also to be protected, because I don't want anybody else interfering with them, because they're, like I said, my backbone. So I have half my forces in. I can have up to half my forces in reserve. I do have half my forces in reserve, and half of my forces that I have on the table I can have into ambush, because I only have 6. That means odd numbers, you don't round up, you can only have 1 in ambush. And so there's going to be an ambush, particularly fun rule that we've never done before, and so we're getting a little taste candy on that one, so it'll be good.
Nice. Hold on. Okay.
Okay, so this is deployment. I have my ambush team set, which is declared going to be my tank platoon. No, it was going to be my
Infantry.
Infantry, my Panzer Grenadiers, and then everybody else is reserve. And then I've got my howitzer set up along here, which you saw. Then I have my anti-tank guns here, and I actually made a mistake, a tactical error at the very beginning, because I've deployed them too far forward. Because I didn't think that he would be moving first. I was just thinking that I'd be shooting first, and that's not true. So I've actually exposed my arse way out there. So James is set up over here.
This is the U.S. lines. These are my observer teams. They're not actually deployed here. They're just sitting there for now until we actually do that move. But figured we'd show off deployment first. Okay. So we have 76mm Shermans. We have our priests. The 155mm.
What's the range on these and the
priests? Or no. I don't remember actually. I'll have to look.
Okay.
So my infantry is over there. Those are the 76s actually, with Staff Sergeant Poole in them. We've got mortars, which I have to ask for forgiveness for the black primer. First time ever using them, so we'll see how they work. Command team and a full unit of Shermans there.
Nice.
Good battles to be had.
Yarg.
Alright.
Okay, so he's moved up these guys. Some up along here. He's also moved up his tanks over there. Your mug is pretty, so you should probably show your face.
Okay, there, they got a glimpse.
Okay.
With my pirate hat. Alright, so what happened is the Americans moved up, my infantry moved up behind the bamboo wall over there, and jumped out of their half-tracks. The 76ers moved up and obliterated 2 of the guns that were sitting over here. The command unit went up and shot and didn't do anything at all. Then these Shermans came up behind here
So do you want me to bring your computer?
and were able to take out another of the guns.
Well, I mean, I'll be happy to.
The priests tried to range in over here and failed miserably.
Also, I ordered a couple of pizzas.
Then my howitzers back there were able to range in over there, but missed. And then my smoke mortars, which is, like I said, first time using, so I had to look it up, promptly missed the last remaining gun over here, who now has to take a morale check.
Yep.
So, now we're up to Joseph.
So doing our morale check. So
His
there's
turn 1.
Fearless Veteran.
It is
Turn
awesome,
1.
and it was delicious.
So 2, so these guys run away.
They go,
Which completely sucks because I have 1 platoon on now. Alright, now I roll for reserves.
yep,
So my turn 1.
roll 1 dice, and we need a 5. Oh, so he's got another one coming out.
So I get a reserves, and I'm going to show you what I'm going to do, and then I'm going to turn off. These are my 88s. Rate of fire 3, range forever, kill everything.
Yes.
They're great.
Yes, but because they are artillery coming on as reserve, they do have to set up this turn.
Right.
So that gives the Americans a reprieve.
A short one.
Yes, yes, and I am mighty scared of those things. That's why the last game we played, I sent 2 full units of 5 Shermans after them to obliterate them. And they died quite nicely, thank you.
Yeah. I'm going to select an aiming point for my howitzers, and I'm debating to hit there or there.
Well, the problem with here is sight. So you'd have to...
Yeah. So that my team up there is spotting this.
This one or this one is the only 2 that you could really see.
So we're going to effectively do that.
Yeah, well, it's going to be coming from that angle, so it'd actually be like that. But yeah, these 4 would be hit.
Yeah.
So, because the flat part, you actually can see on
Yeah,
the...
you point towards the battery. My battery is
Yep,
yonder.
yep.
So anyway, clips, gets 4, misses 5. Or I can get 3 in an infantry thing, but this is more juicy.
Yeah. More
and
pressing.
Vengeance.
Plus, it's blowing up some trees in the process.
Right, we don't like trees. So we're going to put that there, then we're going to roll to range in. Now we're testing on my skill abilities to range in. So I need a 3 up.
But I'm concealed, so 4 up.
5.
So 5.
We're satisfied. So then there's 1, 2, 3, 4 underneath there.
Correct.
So I roll 4 dice, 1 for each of the
Teams hit,
teams hit.
or teams underneath. You could potentially be hit.
And I've got to get your 3 up to hit you. Right. So we'll roll right here.
Ouch!
Okay, so 4 hits.
Owie!
Yeah. 4 hits. Save that.
Alright, so we've got 4 hits. I've got to roll my top armor is 1. So we got 2 complete saves, 1 glancing hit, and 1 penetrating hit, as it were. So he has to roll 2 firepower checks, 1 for this to see if he destroys 1 to see if he could potentially bail 1 out. Firepower is 2 up,
Yep.
so 1's bailed,
successful.
1's destroyed. Alright, so on this turn the Americans swept forward, leaving the 1 bailed out tank and the destroyed tank behind the woods here. He's cowering for cover, actually, is what it is. And then these guys spread out so they don't get hit by the bombardment. But they were able to take out 1 of the howitzers.
Right.
And that was actually due to the priests back there. So artillery did something. Woohoo! This artillery, however, all 4 of them shot, and he made all of his saves, which was quite rude. That was not nice of him. The 76ers here fired 8 shots over at him, and whiffing. Well, actually, they hit 5, but he saved every single
It's
one.
about time. I don't want to get my ass completely handed to me.
Right? And, these, when they came up, they were able to harass a little bit over here and do some stuff. Yeah, and oh, the command team moved up there, and the mortars are out of range. They only have a 40-inch range, which puts that about roughly here. So nothing is there yet. And now it is Joseph's turn.
All right.
Okay, morale 488s.
They like it.
They want some more of it.
And then we're going to roll for reserves. This is turn 3.
Turn 2.
This is turn 2.
Yep. 5 ups. No more
fives.
reserves.
But I'm going to do my ambush.
Yeah, but he does have his ambush, which can be anywhere in his deployment. If he's within line of sight, he can't be more than 16, or he has to be more than 16 inches away from one of my units.
But if I'm in a concealed area, then I can be 4 inches.
Correct.
Like
So,
in woods or that kind of
like he could pop up here, or
thing. Here.
well, I've got. It'd be real hard.
4 inches.
I know. Well, depending on where you're at.
Yeah, I'm here. So 4 inches out. It is nice. So,
But you're not going to be able to get them all in there, though.
well, I can put all of them right here in the row. So from 4 inches from you, let's see. This is my wish. If I can put everybody between here, if I can put everybody in here,
But that's
then
6
I can
inches.
jump out in here.
But he can see 6
Is
inches.
it 4 inches or 6?
He can see 6 inches into the woods, but your deployment is 4 inches within concealment. 4.
So what does that mean?
So that means
I can deploy 4 or 6
they have to, if they're,
if I'm woods.
well, if you're within woods, if everybody can deploy within 4
4
inches,
then you can.
right, if none of them are seen. If
Right.
one of them is seen, then the entire platoon can't
Right.
pop up there.
So if I can get everybody in here, I
Right.
don't think I can.
Which there's a lot of guys.
We're going to pop out. No, that's not them.
Yeah, you're
Oh,
infantry.
those guys. I was thinking backwards. That's
Yeah.
what it was. I thought I was doing that one in concealment.
Yeah.
That's why I thought I could do it. No,
We have it
I
on
can't.
tape, Joseph.
Well,
Okay, so we got to move.
yes. No, we're gonna do it from here. So what's the ranges again?
16 inches out of away from any of my guys.
16 inches.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's do that right there.
Okay, what was that, Joseph?
So we're doing 16 inches. That's the rule for ambush range. Now in an ambush, everybody comes out, and you do this before you do everything else.
Yep.
So they come out and they do their full rate of fire, and
Yeah, they're
hopefully scads and scads owe damage.
popping
Which is
up,
what Panzer Grenadiers are made for, which
Right.
is nice.
popping up and going boom.
Yeah. So they're jumping out. I'm gonna get as many guys involved in this as possible. Because the Panzer Grenadiers, they've got they're fearless veteran, which is nice, and they have a rate of fire of 3. How I've been running them. So
They're quite expensive that way,
they're
but
expensive, and they have their half tracks. So I've got 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, and then this light anti-tank gun all coming down on these folks.
right.
So bring the pain. So it's actually my guys actually can't do anything because I have to be further away than 16 inches, and their shooting range is 16 inches. So actually, there is no pain to be brought, but only brought on me because now I can be shot up.
Right. And neither one of us
So-
realized that prior
Right.
to him popping up. And,
Prior to me getting excited. So that's going to change it. We're not going to jump out over. Maybe we will jump out over here, but
right. So Joseph, I'm going to let
I'm gonna
Joseph
change-
take that back.
I'm going to change my deployment here because
Yeah.
check the rules. You
Yeah.
have to be further out than 16 inches. So.
Right. So we will rewind this. All right.
Okay, so ambush didn't happen. So we're going to be just shooting now. So, and then that'll be the end of our turn.
The ambushers actually just popped up there. Just kind of spread out to protect the that flank from my mass infantry and some tanks coming that way. So Joseph's about to open fire on me now.
Yeah. Okay, we're going to do howitzers. So you're in range. So we're going to do. Center on you. My battery is that way. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Agreed. And he's actually hitting the poor guys. They're hanging out in the shed, you know, just taking a break.
That's not good. That's actually better.
Oh, so now he's still hitting the poor guys in the shed.
Yeah. Sheds always get blown up in movies, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So we have
those are the guys
2
that are...
for the infantry.
They're going to dramatically jump out from the explosion.
And 2 for the tanks. So we'll do infantry first, since they're the most survivable.
Okay, so first range in.
4. We're ranged in. Okay, we'll do infantry. Nothing. And tanks.
1.
1.
Right.
So got a 6 on a tank.
Okay, so now we're rolling
Top armor.
a 1. So you got to prove it. His firepower rating.
It's like 2 up. So
Kaboom!
Kaboom!
He killed the tank. All right, so the Shermans moved up, opened fire, killing the 1 howitzer, also killing a spotter command team.
Spotter team, right?
Yeah, spotter team, with their machine guns, just obliterated him. This command team shot their machine guns, killing a single Panzer Grenadier team. Now all of the 76ers opened fire with their machine guns and did that. 10 hits, and now Joseph is going to roll his saves.
Wow. So 2 guys.
So
All right.
that's good. Now my infantry teams have to attack yet. All right, so 16-inch range from the armored infantry to the Panzer Grenadiers allots me 6 shots, and I need 6s, so 1. And Joseph saved.
Sweet.
How rude!
These guys.
Okay, so Joseph gets to feel like an orc player now.
Finally, something.
He's opening fire on my infantry, right?
Right. So 2s are out.
2s are out.
So 3, 6, 9, 10.
10 hits on my infantry.
Yep.
So we go 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10. Ah, we killed the tree. Alright. Infantry saves are 3 ups. Oh, wow. So we got 5 dead.
I need to glue this guy.
Alright, so Joseph had a casualty of war. His Ben over there fell over and broke a gun. So I haven't even shot yet in my turn. But the mortars moved up. Their carbine team ran up with them. The Shermans have moved up. The command team moved at the double to get up here so we can contest this. And at the beginning of our turn, if he's not within 4 inches of it, then we win. Basically, what's going on is the infantry team has moved up. They're going to open fire and assault these guys with some 3 tanks covering fire. And I believe Joseph is ready to run away at this point. So.
Turn 2, he was ready.
Say that again, Joseph?
At turn 2, I was ready. It looks so bad at turn 2. So, yeah, I've gotten 1 reserve and failed ambush.
Yeah, the ambush did not work as according to plan.
Yeah.
This was Joseph's usual list, and really mine was pretty close to what I usually run, except I added the mortars and took out... I added the mortars and the priests, rather, and took out my air support like I usually take it. All in all, the board is awesome. It's fun. There's lots of cool ways you can set it up, obviously.
One of the cool things I like about making trees like this, especially on these long stands, is that you can... I'm just gonna, for
go ahead.
purposes. You can make them woods by stacking them like this or arranging them however you want, which is nice. And then, so that whole thing counts as woods.
Yep.
or you can just make tree lines or that kind of thing. And I think that's lots of fun, because otherwise you have, these trees are only for woods, these trees are only for tree lines.
Yep.
And so I think the versatility, I'm making it a longer stand, really goes a long way. So.
Oh yeah. And there is a longer stand in here as well.
This is a cool one. My favorite thing. Where'd it go? Here, this right here. I love this bunker. That is totally rad.
The bunker's cool.
So did you make that, or did Ren make that?
Actually, I made the bunker, and Ren made the tunnel piece. Where'd that one go? There it is.
Over there.
Made the tunnel piece that we showed off in another video.
I think this looks completely rad.
Even though these bases are larger than the standard size granted for objective markers, I think they would work very well if you just designated like just this area as the objective. The bunker itself could be the objective. Similar to what we have here, where obviously you want to be within 4 inches to gain control of the objective. So you could do the same thing. The ambush scenario with Joseph worked well with this being Korea, but his army list didn't tailor itself well to that style of play. So.
Yeah, and I think mainly I just didn't get anything on. So that was
the reserve roles seem to be a big problem for the Germans.
Yeah, every time we've played reserves, they just never come on.
Yeah.
So I'm fighting an army that's significantly bigger than me anyway, and then my reserves rarely show up. So.
And in this scenario, the attacker, the Americans,
has a good head start.
Yeah, we came on. Granted, we were limited to 12 inches onto the board, but I had my entire army, so I was able to already formulate a plan and come up. Like, I completely took this entire flank over here.
Yeah, and one advantage here, like he was able to move his infantry up really quickly because of the Truscan trot, which is nice. That's an American special rule.
Yep. When moving at the double, they move 16 inches instead of 12.
Yeah, and then you have another one, which is time on target.
Right, which still didn't kill him. He still held out through 4 artillery bombardments. So I think he's the MVP.
Yeah, nice. There's a German special rule. I can't remember what it is, but what I was going to pull out if my reserves came. For some reason, I had in my head that these were my ambushers as well. So, but you can add or you can combine different types of units into a platoon with the Germans. That's
right.
They have a special rule like that, so I can put a tiger in with this group. And you can also do. They have a stormtrooper movement, which is kind of similar to the Tuscan trot. I like it actually better, but Americans have this time on target and other things as well. But the stormtrooper movement allows you to do an additional move if you haven't assaulted. And that's really nice, but we just didn't have the opportunity because it doesn't present itself. But this is a fun German special rule, which is nice. I like to actually combine that. Like if I have an infantry group, like with these guys, I like to have their half tracks pull anti-tank guns. One of the things that does is that it reduces my number of platoons, so they still have to stay in coherency, but that usually happens anyway, the supporting measure. But it gives my platoon a longer survivability.
Yes.
So I can lose more guys and still stay above half by combining forces together that I would probably use in unison anyway.
Right.
And so I didn't do that this game, but that's one of the Germans' special rules that you can drag behind your half tracks.
Yes.
Like anti-tank guns and that sort of thing.
Which is cool.
Yeah.
And on the American side, just to show, the only casualties that were suffered were 5 teams of infantry, this Sherman, and a 76 Sherman.
So yeah, both of those were on artillery bombardments. So in artillery bombardments, every turn killed 2 tanks. So poor rolling, no reserves.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's just hence the dice game. So.
All right, so Joseph, obviously,
but good game. James came in. I have to say that James is really good. I had one of my errors I did is I deployed my anti-tank guns too far forward.
Yes.
Forgetting that he would move so quickly forward. And so what I normally should have done is actually, if I had them here, I should have actually moved them back in line and given them more. But he was really well. He had 2 groups of tanks, actually 3. He had his command, Shermans, and 76. So he was able to single out that group and then move on and that kind of thing. So
Yep.
very good tactics moving there. So
So I got to ask Joseph. Obviously, we're used to playing on hedgerow terrain, so this is something different for us. How do you like the terrain?
okay, removing all other factors, I think the terrain is fun. I think it gets well. We played the table long, and that's a little bit differently.
Right.
So it took a while for things to get engaged to each other, but normally this goes for 6 turns. But I like the terrain because there is hedgerow versus kind of more of an open country. Hedgerow, it's really hard to get places and to get to people.
Yes.
And you may have something that shoots 32 inches, or you may have something that shoots 70 inches, but in reality, everything's just about 16, 20 inches away.
Right.
So I like this. I like them both. I think this is fun because you can get more things going on at the same time because there's less terrain restriction.
Yes.
So I guess it depends on what you're in the mood for, whether you like, what your mood is. But
Right.
I like this, particularly this board setup, that we could make either spread out trees like we did, or we can make big forests. I really like. I like especially everything that came into bear right here.
Yeah.
I thought it was really cool that his tanks and all of his infantry were able to basically move up as one collective mass.
Right.
It's cool.
Right. And that
So,
that lends itself well to the armored division, which I'm running, 3rd Armored Division for the U.S. And you really need to have your tanks support the infantry. Otherwise, they're both just going to get obliterated. But all in all, I had fun on the board myself. I enjoyed the open terrain. I was really scared that my infantry, because they jumped out, if you remember, way back here, and they hoofed it all the way up here. I was really surprised that only 5 of them died. I expected to see a lot more get obliterated and them just not even come into play. But
yeah.
they did
so,
well.
Yeah. So I think you definitely got the jump on my guys. They were a major disadvantage.
Yeah.
So that was good. Even at shooting, Panzer Grenadiers, we talked about earlier, they have a rate of fire 3.
Yep.
And then the normal American infantry have rate of fire 1. But if they move, it's reduced by 1. So even with that, the way he played it out, and then also the luck of everything, how it moved, his infantry did really good.
Yep.
So
It was a great game, Joseph. Thank you.
yeah, thank you. Shake.